What's up, you guys? Welcome back to the channel. So we have some bad news to report regarding the Maserati. We knew it was going to happen. We knew it was totally inevitable, but it still breaks our hearts that it has finally happened. And that is the Maserati has been damaged on a Turo rental.
In a less than a 1 day rental. Less than 1 day, less than 24 hours.
1 day. It was like 20 hours, I think, 18 hours.
Not on the week-long rental, not on the weekend.
Ridiculous. And the guy also smoked in the car as well.
Electric lettuce was found. So let's talk about the damage. Would it be that bad on a normal car? No. On a Maserati? Absolutely. So we can see right about here is a pretty bad chip, and that wasn't there before. Okay, I wish it was this chip. Let's actually go to the real damage on the back side of the car. So a few areas to note. As we can see, it just looks like a pretty bad scratch, but if you look closely, you can see a big crack in the actual paint. There's more scuffs down below on the bottom, and we can even see right here where it kind of hit the top of the exhaust tip as well. Now, damage like this on a normal car is pretty easily touched up, but because Maserati likes to use this tri-stage paint, this is not going to be easily repaired by just dabbing a little paint on it. It's not going to match the same. But it's windy and chilly. Let's talk about this in the car.
So normally when this type of damage happens with our cars, we wouldn't even really file a damage claim or really make the effort into getting it fixed. Because if something like this happens to a Ford Focus, it's not really a big deal and the damage isn't going to equate to $250, which is our deductible with Turo. But with the Maserati, it does make sense to get it fixed because we eventually want to sell this car. And I know that I personally am a little concerned with how this car is depreciating. I don't want to lose thousands of dollars whenever we go to sell this car, so whenever small bits of damage happen, it's kind of discouraging a bit.
It's really important to fix these things, and on a normal car this might be only $200 to fix, even to do some light paint work on it, but on a Maserati with the paint that it uses and the area and really just the brand of car, this can be upwards of $1,000 to $1,500. But we haven't gotten our numbers yet, so we have to wait and see what Turo comes back and says the damage should be worth.
But I did talk to Turo this morning. They did say that they were going to approve the claim, and now we just have to wait for the estimate from their partner resolve the claim, and they said that that could be coming in either today or tomorrow, so we'll just have to wait and see. And actually, now that I'm thinking about it, this damage claim, even though it's the first damage claim we filed, it actually isn't our first piece of damage, because a few days before this damage claim happened, somebody else damaged our wheel.
So I usually take 3 pictures of the wheel before and after every rental, because my biggest fear is people are going to curb these wheels. And when the renter got back, I noticed there's a lot of like curb concrete residue on the actual tire, and which ultimately tipped me off there might be some damage, and there was. So we have some pretty bad scrapes and scratches on the actual rim of the wheel, and that was a pretty big alarm to say, okay, we need to contact the renter to resolve this, because this cannot just go untouched.
So for this specific piece of damage with the wheel, the guest was pretty good to work with. We let him know that he damaged the wheel and he was pretty willing to pay. In fact, he sent us the money almost immediately, and now we're able to get the wheel fixed. As for the newest piece of damage, the guest isn't quite as easy to work with, so we'll definitely have to wait to see what Turo says and how much they estimate the damage will cost to repair.
So now we're gonna see how long it takes for Turo to contact us. Let's fast forward a bit. And just like that, the Maserati estimate is in. Aubrey's in a meeting right now, and before we can talk about that, let's go check in some cars. There it is. Beep, beep. So checking in this Escape, I can see they didn't fill up the gas at all. They drove about 155 miles and they either forgot to fill up gas or just didn't want to. And the outside's pretty dirty. Now, one of the main things that Aubrey and I are trying to do this year for 2022 is cut expenses, and the way we're gonna do that is we're actually going to take this car to the car wash, and we're gonna sign up this Escape for an unlimited wash pass. Now, it's only $16.99 for the unlimited wash pass, and regularly the car washes are about $7 a piece. So I wash this car lot more than our regular cars because it has dark colored paint, as does our Honda Fit, our Hyundai Sonata, and surprisingly the Mercedes, which is a silver car but ends up getting the most dirty as well. So to cut costs, we're gonna go ahead and get that unlimited pass. That way we only have to wash this 3 times a month and it automatically pays for itself. And I probably do wash this car more than 3 times a month. Now, if you're wondering about the hat, it is freezing in Texas right now, and freezing for Texas is like 40 degrees right now, and it's starting to heat up throughout the day, but it is way too cold for me. So this hat, yes, is very necessary.
Please take your receipt.
Are you out of your meeting?
Yes, I'm out of my meeting.
Okay, good. Now let's talk about the Maserati.
So we actually ended up getting the Resolve a Claim estimate today, and really how this typically works is Resolve a Claim, which is Turo's partner for resolving claims, is they will pull the data from like a database, is kind of my understanding of how it works, but basically they'll use past claims to determine how much your claim is going to be worth. And they also take into account things like your make and model of your car, how old your car is, what the value of your car is. So there's a number of different figures. Now, the problem with Resolve a Claim is that I feel like it can either be a win or a lose. Like if the claim that they estimate and the repair that they estimate for you is something that's expensive and you have connections with the shop, then you can really end up ahead with the situation. But sometimes they do lowball you a bit. And whenever that happens, you have to take your car to a shop and then you have to file, what's it called?
A supplement.
A supplement. And so you have to go through that route, which for people like HP and I who do most of our repairs ourselves, especially cosmetic ones, you can't file a supplement because you need a shop to do it.
Now, obviously, we're a bit biased because we're obviously going to think that it's worth a lot more.
Yeah, we always want to get the most amount from a claim, and so yeah, obviously we're biased, but yeah.
I think it's totaled, honest, in my opinion.
I think it is too, actually.
ruined.
I think that we should probably file a supplement for a total loss because this will never be the same. I probably
Aubrey
just
Janet.
It's fine, it's fine. So obviously Turo disagrees. They do not think that this is a total loss because we did get our damage claim resolution today, and the total damage cost was valued at $509.75. We do have a $250 deductible, and the Turo guest that damaged the car denies liability. He basically insinuated that he didn't commit the damage, and so we didn't get the $250 deductible from him, so we had to pay it out of pocket, which means our total payment that Turo sent us was $259.75. Now, to be honest, I was a little disappointed with that number. I had no point of reference of how much it would cost because we've never had a car like this one before, but I feel like this is like Ford Focus numbers. Like, I honestly think whenever our Ford Escape was damaged with something very similar, we were paid out more.
I'm almost positive that the Ford Focus probably paid out more than this, which is kind of surprising, but I think they're accounting for the fact that we're just gonna put some touch-up paint on it.
No, I mean, that shouldn't be what it's accounting for, but who knows? I mean, at the end of the day, it is what it is. We can't really do a whole lot about it, but this is another reason why we talk about buying cars below market value, because I do think that this will have an effect on the car whenever we go to sell it, unfortunately, because though we are going to fix the tire professionally, I don't think your plan was to fix the bumper professionally.
No.
So what's the game plan of getting it fixed?
I'm gonna try to take out as much scratches by hand as possible, and then I'm gonna buy a paint pen.
Luckily though, HP and his dad do have painting experience, so hopefully they can end up getting the car pretty close to new. But I'm not gonna lie, this was a little bit disappointing, but it is what it is.
And guys, as always, be sure to hit that like button, hit that subscribe, and hit that notification bell, and we'll see you on the next episode.